Welcome back to another Wednesday class here with S.O.W. Stream of Wisdom Houston branch. Thank you for joining us. Someone can send the link out, get the link out to the rest of the congregation that's in other states.
Yes, sir.
And those that can't be present with us here in town. All right. We want to send a shout out to San Antonio, Rochester, Norfolk, and Albuquerque, and any other school that's teaching the truth. You know, putting their brick in, doing their part. We love you, we thank you, and you know, we're unified. We're unified under the Most High in Christ to continue to be compelled to teach the scriptures to our people, to help clean up Israel, to offer the sacrifices, the petitions, the prayers, go through the torments and the sufferings and the afflictions for the nation, even when it's coming from the nation.
Yeah.
Can't do the Bible without getting tormented by other people that say they doing the Bible.
Dang, that's crazy.
Right? It's weird, right? Weird.
Yeah.
You get persecuted by your brother and sister in arms?
It's
Not good.
It's not good.
It's scary.
But that's why we do it. We do it as an example of living the life of Christ. Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. He said what? Is the servant above his master? If they did it to me, they're gonna do it to you.
That's right.
If I had to go through it, you gotta go through it. So we're going through it. We're going through it for the nation. We're going through it for the Most High in Christ. We got a good class set up for y'all?
Yeah, I'm glad you're talking about that. I'm glad you even brought that up because we're gonna go into this class and just kind of, just in parts of this class, touch on that concept. But yeah, my bad. You were still talking.
No, I was finished. I was just gonna bring in your class.
Hydrate. It's 102 out here.
It's not Kansas.
Huh?
It's not Kansas.
It's 100 degrees in Kansas.
But not like Houston.
It ain't the same though. Nah.
No, it
There's
ain't the same.
There's nothing like a Houston 100-degree day. We've had two of them in a row. I've died in both days, resurrected. Definitely died last night. I got a big lawn, and I have a lot of plant life. That when I cut the lawn, I have to move everything. It's like 70 pots, something like that. Crazy. So it takes me like a day, 2 days to cut my lawn.
Bruh.
So last night, I know I definitely saw the third dimension, because I went to bed feeling real bad. The heat. And I went out there again today because I got some stuff I got to do. I got to do it. And yeah, I'm resurrecting right now in front of y'all.
Resurrected.
But I'm hot. Head is hot. My head is burning. Anyway.
Like my internal core temperature is
Yeah, bro.
up.
I feel like I'm at like 107 degrees. I'm hot. It's hot. You know, it's hot, but it's all good. You know, typical Houston. I know the brothers and sisters in Rochester. Hopefully, y'all helped out with their AC situation. We know what that feels like, right?
Gone.
100-degree Houston weather with no AC in a box. Yo, but we did it. We didn't miss no class days. We still kept it pumping, right? We didn't miss nothing. No garments, no class days. Bro, it was hot box. Cats left out of here with garments just wet, the whole chest. The whole chest just wet, like a super soaker. But hey, we pushed through it. You know what I mean? So
And that's when the inspiration of the dry fit shirts came in.
yeah, I was like, let's get some dry fits. At least you could hide the sweat.
Right.
Yeah, but when you're dry fit, you can wring it out.
Oh yeah. Get a puddle of water.
Yeah, and get you a cup of water from the dry fit. Anyway, so yeah, this all I'm saying is be careful out there if you gotta be out there. Cover your head. I've had my head covered both days, but that still wasn't enough. It's almost like it added to the heat. But cover your head if you can. Make sure you got a lot of water breaks, eat a lot of fruit. Fruit, not fast food, fruit, hydrating fruits. Right? And different things like that if you gotta be out there. Some of us got jobs.
Yeah.
I know I'm a one. He drives semis, but he has to go to the back of the semi where it's like $1.30 to move product and deliver. So just take care of your health. It ain't that serious. You'll never see me drink this BS except for right now. You gotta get the hydration in. Plus I robbed a child for their Gatorade. Anyway, so let's get into this class. Obviously, y'all see the title online. This is part 2 to last week's class about, what's the title again?
Last week,
Yeah. Read.
marrying an Israelite man.
Yep. Watch this first, right? So this is like a sister's class, but it's really an everyone's class, right? To the sisters that are looking to get married to an Israelite man, there's certain things you gotta know about that man. You gotta know about what he has committed himself to. And I think, like I said last week, a lot of these marriages fail in the Israelite community. You know, one minute you see a cat on Facebook, look at my new rib. Brand new rib. They all happy and stuff. And then the next, you know, a month later, he's putting these cryptic posts. Like, man, the scriptures say it is better to be like Paul. Oh, so that means y'all broke up. Well, why did you guys break up?
Yeah.
A lot of the times, the sisters don't understand what their husbands, especially if he's like a part of a camp, a part of a school, a part of an organization, something that's actually organized, and that they have to give their time and they do these different things. A lot of the times, man, the sisters that are getting married to these men don't understand what that man has signed up for. And so again, we talked about it last week. You marry him for status, you marry him for looks, you marry him for beard size, bank account size, the kind of car he drives, his position. And then now when the requirements start to kick in, or when all that stuff you married for starts to fade away, the looks, he's getting old now. He's not as handsome anymore. His beard, it wasn't as black as it was when you guys got together. Now it's got speckles of gray.
Right.
That bank account ain't bank accounting. It's no longer an account, it's closed. He's broke, right? When all those things that you got with him, when those things start to disappear, because they will, right? Then you're gonna find out what is your marriage contingent on? What is it based on? So what this class is designed to do is just go through some of the reminders and requirements of when you're marrying this man. For one, this is what you should be looking for in this man. So what were the 2 points we talked about last week? Who remembers? It was just 2 major points. What were they? What was that? Young man.
One point was he leads with wisdom.
Right. That was actually the first point, right? That you should be looking for a man that's going to use wisdom and not all the other carnal things, money, influence. But he's going to use wisdom to solve problems. What was the other thing? What was the other point? There's only 2. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, you.
Read.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well. Oh.
What you got? Show me what you got.
This wasn't a point.
It was a point.
Well, I wrote down a man that is using the discretion and discernment.
Right. So it was decision making.
Yeah.
We talked about wisdom, and then we transitioned to the next major point about decision making, and that how his decision making was going to be, that it wasn't always going to be favorable to a person or his wife's emotion, but he was going to be using logic, discretion, discernment to now make proper decisions. It ain't going to get down no faster. I know it's hot. It ain't going to get down no faster. Mhm. It's on. I can hear it. It's creeping. At least it ain't outside. Right? So decision making and wisdom were the two major things that we spoke about, and then we went through a few scriptures on that. So the next point in this class that I want to talk about is order. Order and structure. So we're going to talk about two things, or try to. 37:20. We're going to talk about order and structure, and we're going to talk about sacrifice. Right? So you can just write down, a man of order. So, sis, marrying an Israelite man, watch this. You're going to get a man of order. And why is this important? Well, because this world is built on disorder. How do we know? How do we know that this world is built on disorder? What? And then you can go.
Because I'm gonna look at it because the way that the non-Israelite, well, I ain't gonna say non-Israelite, the way that the worldly man moves.
The way that the worldly man moves. How does he move? In your eyesight, how does a man of the world move?
Deceitful.
Okay. What else? I like that. Deceitful. Mm-hmm.
Man, deceitful is the one that really comes to mind. Whorish.
Okay. A lot of whoredom.
Right.
Going on. What else?
Them the only two I can think of right off the bat, right quick.
What you got, Yashikar? What were you gonna say?
Reference to scripture, it says the world is given to the hand of the wicked.
Right.
So people moving wickedly, unjust, but more so just the main word I was thinking of was chaotic.
Right. There's a lot of chaos. I'm glad you said that. Go to 1 Corinthians. The men of this world are taught to move chaotic.
Yeah.
You know where I want.
Okay.
The men of this world are taught to move chaotic and to respond in a chaotic, effeminate, real low IQ, low level responses to situations. They're taught to be physically imposing but not have any mental aptitude. Right? All right. The men are taught to, dominate situations with physicality. But then that physicality is where now the scuffles and things just start getting out of order, right? And they become demonic. Read 1 Corinthians 14.
Verse 33 and
No,
then verse 40.
Read verse 33, yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33.
Go ahead.
For God is not the author of confusion.
Right, so let's pause there. So this world is not, first of all, this whole world is about confusion. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, but we can look at just all the societal norms that we would think are norms, and they're all in confusion. Right? The moral fabric of society where, homosexuality, transgenderism is the norm. Yeah. That's the norm now. That's like, oh, there's a parade? Oh yeah, listen, just the whole family. And nobody blinks an eye. Right? Oh, you get online and you see a woman transgender into a man. With a man that transgendered into the woman, and then they still get pregnant. The man is carrying the baby. The man looking one is carrying the baby. I can't even explain it because I'm confused.
Right, people get pregnant.
People, they get pregnant.
Yeah, they get pregnant. Yes.
Right, there's no longer him and her. It's they, them. Right, they and them is legion. They and them is legion. It's no longer the him and her assigned at birth. Right, what you are. I heard some funny stories over the weekend, but it just really solidified in my mind, like, this world is built on confusion. right? Where you can be assigned a gender at birth,
Yeah.
right? And then you got to go to the hospital for a surgery. And because you transition, you can put now your new gender on the paperwork.
Yeah.
But this is the cold part. The doctors are looking for male anatomy.
Yeah.
But you putting that sheet on the paperwork. So what we doing? How are they going to operate on you properly if you're a man at birth, where you put a she on the paperwork, and they're looking for male anatomy? But they're scanning you, and they're like, wait, we don't see the female.
Ovaries.
We don't see the pudenda.
Yeah.
We don't see that. We don't see ovaries. We don't see none of that. What are we doing? And that's a norm. It's like, oh, well, you know, that's what they want to be,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
So
sir.
remember, we're all being plucked out of the chaotic world. You were going to say something, sis.
I
didn't
was
forget you.
talking to this coworker, and she was telling me that she seen this video of this Dominican man,
Uh-huh.
and he was ranting. He was like, you know, this world, we can't call people fat, we can't call people black, we can't call them homeless, and he's saying all the things, but he said, but they expect me to call a man a woman.
Right.
I was like,
Right. You see?
I was like, yeah,
You can't call things what they are, but they want you to call things what they're not.
yeah,
It's all about how to confuse you, right? And remember, again, we're all being removed. The wisdom of the Bible gives us the ability to be removed from that confusion, where I don't have to think about, you know, whether it's a he or a she. Whatever you were at birth, that's how I think about it. I don't have to think about, you know, my next rib is going to be my next rib is going to be a man that reassigned to a woman.
Oh, no.
And then now I'm not looked at as nothing crazy. Nigga, that's crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just say it.
Nasty.
You're gay.
Yeah.
And it's fine if that's what you want, but don't act like because a man transitioned to a woman that it's not a man. Well, she transitioned. No, there's no way on God's green earth that you can convince me that that's not a man. So I don't have that issue, right? I don't have that issue, right? And that's just on, you know, that's on a high level, right? Think about all the other things that bring confusion that this world has imparted into us, where now you're trying to get with this man that's not operating in that confusion. What does that mean for this system? Well, you would have to allow that man to now order the situations around you guys to help bring you out of that confusion. Especially if, you know, you're a new sister, or you one of those sisters that just been dangling by the wayside, because, you know, we got those. Sister just be here, you know, class once a week, twice a week, and just holding on for dear life.
Right, it's just around, but still moving and thinking like a new sister.
Or you here, you've been here for some years, and you still, caught up in your negative, right? You need that man to order your life, not to turn you into a slave, not to be a male chauvinistic pig, but to put order and structure in your life. A lot of sisters ain't really grow up with a daddy like that. I'm gonna say it again. A lot of women ain't really grow up with a father like that. And so what happens is, because you were raised around a lot of women, your aunties and them, grandmama, mama, they gave you one perspective on how to deal in this world, right? And then they taught you how, oh, you know, when you get you a husband, baby, you got to make sure you cook for him, and they showed you how to whip up pancakes, and you don't make gravy from scratch and all that good stuff. You know, you got to fold the laundry like this, baby, and she taught you how to fold laundry and do all those different things. But guess what they didn't teach you? You know what they couldn't teach you? How to be in order with a man. Because a lot of them didn't have one. Being in order with a man doesn't necessarily mean because you cooked and cleaned that day. It's way more things to being in order with a man, or being underneath the order, right? It's like how we went to church and we were taught the Bible was a book of fairy tales, and it was a comic, and we're like, oh, see, we're in line with Jesus. And then we came into the truth, and we were like, damn, we've been out of line with Jesus for the longest time.
Right.
Because we eating pork, right? We doing this, we smoking weed, we smoking cigarettes, we running red lights.
That's hilarious.
We doing all that.
That's hilarious.
Inside joke with my rib. Yeah. God, it's from them.
Yeah, hilarious.
Right? But there's a lot more to order and structure than just cooking and cleaning. Right? There's a lot more to it. Go from there. Go to 1 Corinthians real quick, 11 and verse 3. Remember, we all have to learn this order. Why? Because we're all in disorder. So a woman looking to get married to an Israelite man, you better expect that there's going to be a high level of orders. Order, structure that he's trying to impart into both of y'all's lives. Because if you're out of order with him, the kids will be out of order with you. And a disordered house is of who?
Satan.
Is of Satan. So hold that Corinthians and go to the other Corinthians 11 and verse 3.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
Come on.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Come on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Go ahead. See, and the coldest part is this: like all you sisters have been taught, like, yeah, I need me a head. I need a head. I need a head. I need someone to lead. I need someone to lead. And then as soon as the Most High says, boom, there goes your leader. What do? You ain't gonna tell me what to do. You rebel. You literally rebel and argue and fight over every leadership point he comes with. You find every reason to go against. You find every reason to not be in order. But do you know what you asked for? Didn't you ask for the leader? Didn't you ask for the head? Didn't you ask the Most High for a godly man? Aren't you asking for that? Yeah. It's like, I want a godly man.
Yep.
Right? But as soon as he starts to now do the godly thing, which is to order his house aright, and say, because in ordering things, you have to say yes or no to things. What kills y'all is the no's. And that goes right back to his decision making. His decision making is embedded in wisdom, which is supposed to be bringing discernment and discretion. And so as he's ordering the house, it's real simple. All he's doing is looking at the scripture and saying, oh, well, as long as I'm underneath the Most High in Christ, and I'm following the Most High in Christ and keeping the commandments and doing my part, that everyone under me should just be doing their part.
Right.
It's really that simple. You ain't got to go to a bunch of scriptures, right? But see, what tends to happen is ego. What tends to happen is rebellion. What tends to happen is you tap back, sisters, you tap back into that childhood of not having a father or not having a strong male figure around you, raising you for it. And when I say strong male, I don't mean like, oh, he was the strong drug dealer or he was a strong pimp on the block.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about. I mean an actual reputable man that had some sense, had some wisdom, actually had some character about himself. Not because he sold drugs or he was just the feared man, like everybody was scared of him, no. But a man that could sit you down and really walk you through your decisions. A lot of us don't have that. A lot of us didn't have, a lot of men, brothers didn't have that. But you know what's crazy about this time? Brothers are embracing that role. Like, as soon as they get the Bible, they're like, damn, that's what I gotta do. Then they embrace the role of that strong man. A lot of brothers is embracing the role of a man they never had an example of. So what are they looking at? The men around them? What are they looking at? The Bible examples? So they're embracing the role, but are you embracing the Abigail role? The role of Sarah or Rebecca?
No, they embracing the McCall.
Damn. Yeah.
Why you out there dancing?
Yeah, why you gotta go do that? Why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do that? What you mean why? What you mean why? You know what I signed up for, and you know what you signed up for when you got with me.
That's crazy. But that's the class.
That's the point.
They didn't know.
They didn't know, because you didn't. Right? That's crazy. Why you do that to me? Right? But no, you're right. They didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't pay attention. You didn't look. You didn't ask, you looked at the wrong things. Think about it. Any person that's endeavoring into a relationship, you're supposed to be really looking at that person's character. Now, I get it. Some of us, it's different, where you came in as a couple into the truth, right? You came in as a couple, and then you start to make changes, your husband starts to make changes. But if you come in as a couple, then you're supposed to be understanding that, what are we changing from? Were we the drug-using couple? Were we the alcoholic couple? Were we the abusive couple? You know, he get high, I get drunk, I talk crazy, he talk crazy, and then we both gotta bail each other out the next day? I'll pay your bail and you'll pay mine?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's, hey, it's real though. It's real, what's up?
The funny part is this when said couple are in jail, right? They're screaming and shouting through. They're screaming and shouting through the evidence, talking to each other.
Yeah,
Like, baby, I miss you.
Yeah, like,
Baby, I love you too, babe. Bail me out.
yeah. Yeah. Well, whoever get out first, bail the other one.
Yeah.
Like, what the, like, bruh, what are we doing?
And then they'll base it on like some Bonnie and Clyde stuff.
Yeah.
Right to the Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, they walk out together with bumps, bruises. One got a bloody lip, one got a black eye. And then what do? Go back home and repeat it. So what are we growing from? Are we growing out of our negatives? Is he handling issues differently? Right? Is he now relying on drugs, alcohol to be the suppressor of our problems? Am I handling my situations differently when it comes to him as a woman? Right? So these are the things as couples that you have to look at if you came into truth together. You gotta look at your couple's growth and then your individual growth. It's important. We got a couple of brothers and sisters that came in together. It wasn't like I'm here and then met my rib years later. Nah, brothers, shit, we got 2 couples in here right now that, yeah, they came in together, basically, right? So we're supposed to be looking at, is there a unified growth, right? Are we growing together, and are we growing from our old ways of doing things, right? Go back to 1 Corinthians 14.
40?
Read 33.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33.
Go ahead.
For God is not the author of confusion,
Go ahead.
but of peace.
Right, so look at this earth, look at this world. Is it peaceful? No. That's how we know the Most High is not in it. Right? That's how we know the Most High. And what do I mean by the Most High is not in this world? Meaning, the Most High, he just doing what? He stepped back and let the inhabitants take over.
Yeah.
He let them bring forth their own devices to bring peace and whatever they want to bring forth. Not that he's not in ultimate control, right? But surely the Lord will do nothing but revealeth his wisdom to his saints. That's it. That's all he's doing is opening up the eyes of the men and women that want to be open to those, those sisters that those sisters that recognize that they are living in disorder. Because you got sisters that recognize it. They're like, look, I got sisters come to me like, look, man, and not to be with me, but I've had sisters come and say, look, I need to get a husband because I got situations in my life that I know I can't defeat on my own. Yeah, I got disorder, I got chaos, I got this spirit, I got that spirit, and I need help. I need a companion. I need someone to help me, right? And they're being honest that they can't go at it alone because this world wasn't made for a woman to go at it alone. I mean, neither was it made for a man to go at it alone, right? Didn't it say it in Genesis? It's not good that man shall be alone. Let's get him help.
Okay.
So we weren't made to go at it alone, and that's what brings forth a lot of the negatives in our lives, is these young women going at it alone and then being exposed to this earth. And then they get that cold, hard wall of realization that, damn, I didn't have to go through all that, but I already did. Now I got to get somebody to clean me up. Now I need help to scrub the dirt off. And that's fine. It's fine to admit. But then when you get the person that's sitting there taking the time to wash your back, why you smacking their arm away? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Why you got to say it like that? Why you got to do that? You want some?
Oh, sure.
Right? Why do you fight the help when you're supposed to be the help? Why do you fight the cleanup process when, is what you asked for? So, order has to be imparted, because if not, then it's not of the Most High. What's that?
I have a question. So my
Yeah, what's your question?
My question is based off of this edification that you're going on, right? With the example that you brought up with certain sisters coming to you,
Mhm.
and Scripture says, "Confess your faults one to another, that you may be healed." So they're confessing out loud, saying, "I need the companionship, I need that structure, I need the order."
Mhm.
What would you say in the sense of the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American woman who's tapped into that feminist mindset and be like, you know what? I don't need no man, and they push that agenda.
Mhm.
I've been seeing a lot lately with our sisters of the nation
Yeah.
moving with that type of spirit. It's like, oh, everyone says I need to be with the man and the what is it? The monarchy or something like that.
Okay.
Patriarchy. What is it?
The matriarchy.
Matriarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, the matriarchy.
Yeah, like how they use. I think monarchy is from Godzilla.
Yes.
No, but the matriarchy, it just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, the
But-
matriarchy,
but-
the women leaders. Yeah.
Well, okay, no, patriarchy,
Patriarchy is men.
right? So they'll condemn.
The patriarchy to build the monarchy, the matriarchy.
Yeah, they'll condemn the patriarchy and their. So what would you say
Uh-huh.
in that with
To
the
that
agenda
woman?
that these our women over the nation are like, oh, y'all just want me to be under the patriarchy and
Mhm.
this and that, and I don't need no man, and you know what I mean, with my body and my ovaries and da.
What I would say is, go back 50 years to those feminist women that said that, and look at their sons, and look at their daughters. They're a bunch of dykes and homosexuals. There's no, I would say, look at society as a whole. Feminism built this society. That's why you got soft ass dudes, soft men, right? I would say, look at the Black and Hispanic household and the numbers when it comes to single parented households, where it's very bad. It's very bad for a child when a woman is the only person in that house without a man to help. It's very bad, right? You could have single parent households with men, but then you can also have them with women. But when it comes to single parent households with women, there's more of them, and the children are worse off. Psychologically, they're worse off. Physically, they're worse off. Their dietary is worse off, right? Everything all around is worse off because it wasn't set up for either situation to happen. Single parented mom, single parented dad. But that feminist movement, they'll say, I don't need no man, get pregnant by a man and then raise children. But look at what they're raising. That's what I would say, just look back. Look back before the feminist movement, and then look at the results from the feminist movement to now, and look at society. It's a bunch of closet homosexuals, it's a bunch of transgender, everything, dogs, cats, everybody's switching it up. There's no loyalty, right? Again, the moral fabric of this society is, I mean, it's unbelievably, if there ever was a moral fabric, it's degraded greatly. Right? Every one of those feminists they're saying, wait, this is not what we signed up for. Right? Because feminism was about equality. Well, take your ass out there in 102-degree weather and go bust your ass. Not a lot of women at your job, is there?
They left because they got heat stroke.
Thank you. And you stood there, huh?
Oh yeah, I was in there.
Yeah. They got heat stroke.
Yeah, they're like, oh no.
Stroke it out. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you look at it as a whole, they fought for something that is not attainable, and then we can just see it through society, right? You don't need a man. Well, then shut down OnlyFans, and let's see how much men you need. Shut down OnlyFans and see. Look at the subscribers to OnlyFans. It's mostly men. Right? If you don't need men, let's just shut down all those industries that are men driven, financially, and let's see how much you need a man. I mean, it's real simple, right? So it's not really a good talking point from their end, because we could actually sit and watch and see society and say, damn, this is what not needing a man has brought us in the last, the women that said I didn't need a man in the 90s, their children is about 30 years old. Right? Yeah. Yeah. The 30-year-olds right now do not know what they're gonna do in life. A lot of them don't know what's going on. A lot of them don't know how they're gonna make it. They're the ones on TikTok complaining. It costs too much to live.
That's funny.
I can't even pay damn the rent on this one job. I got they're the ones complaining.
You know, the videos that I've been seeing lately, I've never seen a dude do this. I've never seen a dude record himself, and he's like, I need a woman in this type of weather. I need a woman in this season to cuddle this and this and that. I need a woman, why can't I find love? I've never seen any man do that. But there's a lot of females of our people who'll be crying, screaming on top of the lung, like, oh my God, I can't find love. Oh my God, I have no companion. Oh my God.
Because you know why though? It's not that the love ain't out there, it's what they want love to be and what is really out there. It's no different than a woman that says, I want a godly man. And in her mind, she has like the bow tie wearing, church going, you know,
Taper fade.
Taper fade, crispy top lip, all that. Just buttery talking dude, right? Why you let the ride?
No, because they was cutting my hair.
When that day he hit the bottom lip.
Stop, no. Wow.
He did with his and his pinky rubbed the top. How's his pinky get up there? But they have a certain idea of what a godly man is. And then the Most High, again, he drops this other man in front of you that has the same Bible, but is actually living by it. And now you're expected to live by it. And then you have the opportunity to say, no, I don't want to do that. So everything everyone needs is out there. Are you willing to make the changes? Right? Because remember, the one thing, sisters, is when you got with the drug dealer and you weren't into drugs, guess what you did? You got in order with the drug dealer. When you got with the bike rider and you never rode a bike in life, you got in order with the bike rider. When he was a Cowboy fan and you was a Texans fan, you got in order with his Cowboy lifestyle.
Amen, brother.
Which, that lifestyle is a lifestyle of transgenderism also.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't know what they doing.
That's crazy.
Right, when he was about something and you met him and you weren't about it, the point is you got in order with what he was about. That's how I know it be cap a lot of the times. When it's like, well, I don't know about this Bible thing. No, you just hate the Bible. Just say that. You just don't like the Bible. You don't like the way the Bible is administered. You don't like his voice. You don't like his masculine energy.
Damn.
It's toxic. You don't like his tone.
Oh, wow.
You don't like, he's always so angry. You don't like the fact that he don't smile a lot. You don't like, he's always just, just so down and he's always like this. What does that have to do with being in order?
Just say you don't like the Bible.
Just say you don't like the Bible. Just say you hate basketball. Remember that guy? Just say you hate that. Just say you hate the Bible.
Say you hate the culture of the scriptures.
Yeah, right. I like that. The culture of the scriptures. Just say you don't like the culture. Right? Because if you look at the culture of a woman in the Bible that's a proper woman, right? She's not over talking her man. She's not in competition with him going back and forth. Even if he's wrong, she ain't doing it. But remember, I know this world has taught y'all to do something. This world has taught you that it's okay. It's okay, sis. Have your voice. It don't matter what type of man he is. He could be a God, and you know what? Now that I know he's a real God-fearing man, that he really fears the Most High, he ain't gonna put his hands on me. So I'm gonna actually talk more reckless.
Damn.
I'm gonna actually be more disrespectful. I know he ain't gonna beat on me. Because he's a proper man. It's a proper Israelite man. Because Israelite men don't beat on their women. That's a no-no. The most we do is get roused up. Rah! We might shuffle a few furnitures, right? We might try to get dramatic. Man, F this and throw something. But she knows he ain't gonna beat me.
Might take on that Sean Connery.
No, she knows that you're not. You're not just gonna smack her. She knows you ain't just gonna smack her around. Because that was the old you.
Right.
And you were supposed to be coming up out of that. Right? She knows, oh damn, the Bible say deal like this with wisdom. Well, I'm gonna push his buttons. The Bible say order and he's trying to move in order. Well, I'm gonna figure out how I can make it disorder. Because you know, we're only going to go to a certain limit where what? We get pissed off and then we just stop talking to you for a moment. And some of y'all's like, I can deal with that, whatever. I'll just flash a smile, rub his back, and we'll be back talking again. Y'all know how to play the game with us.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know we can only go to a certain extent before it becomes ungodly. We can only go to a certain extent with y'all, right? We can't do the begrudging. We can't do the bitter shit that y'all be doing to us, right? We can't do the, well, I'm gonna make myself something and not you, right? Or I'm gonna take myself over here and not you. We can't do that. Because then what? Well, you know, we're gonna have a council about this. And next thing you know, you got us in council. Because we didn't follow love your wives as you love yourself. Well, he's doing this, and he's not doing it to me. But how did it get there? So y'all know how to use the Bible even against a godly man, which is crazy. But see, the good thing about a godly man is he'll sit back and wait. And he'll allow you to do it just so you can play yourself in the eyes of the Most High. You can't outplay the Spirit.
Right.
That's the difference. You'll just play that game right out of your own marriage. Right? But we know, y'all know there's only an extent we can go to. A good man has a limit of what he's not gonna physically touch on you. He's not gonna be taking your stuff. Remember in Hustle and Flow when he took all old girl stuff and threw it out the house? Took the whole dresser and threw it out.
God.
Right? Remember that? You gotta go watch Hustle and Flow. That thing was crazy. He took the whole dresser out, baby bassinet, everything. The rocker, the baby rocker in the front lawn. Out. Right? Y'all know we ain't gonna do that because it wouldn't be right to do that in that way. We gotta do what? Damn, she acting out of order. All right, now I gotta go through the steps. I gotta try to talk to her. That ain't working. I gotta give her more time. I gotta try to talk to her again. That ain't working. Okay, you know what? Now I gotta call the council. Now she's disrespecting brothers in the council. Damn. You gotta go through all these steps before it's cut her off. That could take 6 months, 8 months, shit, 5 years in some brothers' situations. Before it's like, all right, man, you gotta cut that off.
I'm trying to get my taxes.
I don't know what's going on with this guy. You said something about your taxes?
He said how long you could take.
Oh, yeah. So you get the taxes?
Yeah, Lee.
That's
The
hilarious.
point is, y'all know how to play the game of disorder while we're trying to stay in order. And this is what y'all have to understand. What are you invoking? What spirit? If it's not God, if it's not peace, then what spirit are you invoking when it's disorder? When your household has no order in it, right? You ever walk into a house, it smells funny, it look dirty, everybody's loud, and it's just all types of craziness going on? You kind of get an uneasy feeling, right? Or it could be clean, it could be this, it could be that, but you can still feel the chaos of the house because the spirit is off. But what's running that household? Who? What spirit? What deity? What entity? Read it on. Finish it.
For the Most High is not the author of
Go
confusion,
ahead.
but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Verse 40.
No, that's it. Go from there. Jump up. Jump up to read verse 40. Yep.
1 Corinthians 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Yeah. The Most High loves order and decency. And a lot of the times when we do things out of order, it just prolongs a situation. It adds more variables to situations. And all we trying to do is just like, man, let's just do one thing at a time. I'm a one thing at a time guy, right? I can multitask, but I like to nail down one thing and then kind of move to the next thing. I don't like to have my plate just full of chaos. You know what I mean? I like to know what I'm doing. I like to see an end result. I like to see things accomplished. I like to get a win. You see what I'm saying? I don't like to skip steps. I don't like to jump this to get to this. Because no matter what, you still got to tackle this over here. Right? Well, I got bigger fish to fry. Okay, well, you still got to go deal, because the scriptures say about dealing with the little things. Right? It says, be not ignorant in a matter great or small. So if we can't do things in order decently, then what are we promoting? Like, go from there. Go to 1 Timothy 3. Four. 3 and verse 4.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4. One that ruleth well his own house.
See, this is the man you're signing up for. You're signing up for a man that can rule well his house. That means that he's going to rule over you. Isn't that what it says in Genesis? Yeah. You should be subject to your husband, but see, the curse was that the wife was going to have a desire to outrule her husband. That wasn't a blessing. That was a curse, that the wife was going to try to overrule the husband. And we see it all the time. You come when I overruled, like, damn. Overruled. Femininity wins. Every time you get out of order with your husband, you promote the feminist movement. Every time you're out of order. Oh, you know what? I don't need leadership. I don't need guidance. But it's a trick. Because then that would mean that anyone that's saying that is their own ruler. Which one of us are our own ruler? You can barely control the farts that come out of your backside. So how can you be your own ruler? You barely can control gas. Got gas. And you how can you be your own ruler, your own entity? It doesn't make sense. We don't control anything, is the point. We don't control anything enough to say, well, I'm my own order keeper. No, everyone has to have something or someone above them. Obviously, the Most High is the ultimate above. He's the Most High. But even Christ, who had many abilities and many talents and many gifts, right? The ability to heal folks and give wisdom and do his own thing, he still kept an order with the Most High. Why? Imagine if Christ was out of order with the Most High. What would we have right now?
Yeah.
Man.
Because y'all understand that this is by design, right? Everything we go through is by design. This whole earth right now, the earth being given into the hands of the wicked, that is by design. It said it was given into the hands of the wicked. They didn't take it. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked by design. This is all a design because of our lack of order as a people. And now we gotta fight just in our little houses to be in order with each other. Because at the end of the day, don't husbands gotta be in order with their wives? How? How do I gotta be in order with my wife? Well, brother, that's out the spirit. She's not over you. Well, yeah, but there's still an order. So how does that work? How am I in order with my wife if I have one? It's a good question, right? What? You got something?
Just the scriptures coming to mind. It's just like render not evil for evil.
Right. Okay, that's a good one. Render
Right.
not evil for evil. Railing for railing.
Condescending in the humiliated state to man of low estate.
Okay.
Things like that. But that example.
How about what we're reading now? Where it says to rule your house well. Right? One that ruleth his own house. How about that? Because you know how many men don't want to do nothing in their houses? They just want to kind of be there. They're like, I'm the king. And then they require all king type treatment,
Right.
but they don't do anything,
That's funny.
right? They expect to walk in, the dog fetches their slippers, the kids run up, bow, kiss the ring, the wife, she's there with 15 different meals. What do you want, me lord?
Right now,
But you play video games all day, me lord. You sat out, you didn't do nothing all day, me lord. But you want to be called me lord, right?
Funny.
Some men have that king complex and they're not really doing nothing king worthy. I need 4 or 5 ribs. I need two ribs in the truth. It's diabolical when you want trooper status. And when I mean trooper, like you ain't doing nothing. Right? 2 ribs in the truth is diabolical when you really even on officer status. It's diabolical because you're not doing that much. Right? You're not doing that much. So the point is, a lot of men feel like they're owed something, and so they don't live up to the orders and standard with their household that they should. It's like propagate one household, then we go propagate another household. Now I have 7 households, but ain't none of them households in order. Don't none of them women respect me. Ain't none of them women in order with me. So men have to be in order with their household, with their wives also. And ruling your house well is one of those stipulations, right? Read on real quick to verse 5.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4.
Right?
One that ruleth well his own house,
Mhm.
having his children in subjection.
Yeah, so having the children in subjection. Some of our children are demons. Straight up. They just act like little Edomites. Just run around. Ah! They'll smack you, they'll talk crazy to you, they'll talk back to you. Right? There's no order inside the household. And the coldest part is, some of your kids just mimic what you do, sis. They just mimic it. And then you looking at your husband like, aren't you gonna do something? It's like, well, aren't you gonna do something? Sister, you want him to do something about the kids, but what about you? He's trying to get you in order. You're supposed to be the one to get the children in order, and that's how it's supposed to flow, right? Christ is in order with the Most High. We're in order with Christ. The woman is in order with the man. The children in order with mom. Everyone flows in an order. That's what order is. There's an order. Hey, order number 1. Ding! I put my order in first. My order should come out first, right? I shouldn't get order number 1 after order number 8 unless there's some disorder. Right? Wouldn't you be pissed off if you went to the drive-thru? Whataburger does this, and I'd be mad. They got 2 drive-thru lanes, right? And they be doing things out of order. Nobody else does it but them. Maybe Chick-fil-A now. I ain't been here in a while. You make an order, they're like, yeah, pull in lane B. Like, nigga, I'm in lane A. You pull in lane B, and you see cats pulling up, gone. Pulling up, gone. You're like, wait, hold on. What's going on here? Then they mosey on out, swipe your little raggedy card, and give you a little burger. You like, wait, it took y'all 4 orders? 4 people passed me? What were they ordering? Nuggets? And I'm like, what's going on here? It's disorder, right? So just even in the ordering system, you don't put order number 1 in the back of the line. Everything is supposed to flow, right? So if we flow, if everything flows backwards, back to the Most High, then everything will flow from the Most High downwards back to the children. The children are out of order because the women are out of order because the men are out of order. The out of orderness stopped with the men. Christ was in order. The out of orderness stops with us, but see, we're trying to get things back in order. Right? So don't look at him when your kids are out of order and all they're doing is mimicking you and your behavior. They just do it 4 more times the level. Right? So if the kids is like, no, I ain't doing that. I would hope none of y'all kids do that. They probably heard you say that to him when you thought they didn't hear it. I ain't doing that. What I gotta do that for? They probably heard you going crazy, arguing, going back and forth. And now they, oh, well, you know, mom goes back and forth with dad. So I'm gonna go back and forth with mom. A lot of the times, the Most High uses them children as the mirror to show you what you're doing. Like how he uses the wife to show what the husband is doing, right? He uses a mirror in every situation. See how I'm being fair? Because even a wife that's rebellious and going back and forth, she could be mirroring her husband, who is rebellious and always going back and forth. Right? There's always different ways to look at things. We just got to make sure we're not mirroring each other negative. Right? The evil lesson. The evil lesson, right? It shouldn't be so easy to learn the evil lesson as opposed to the righteous lesson. Stop using that as the excuse. Well, you're teaching me an evil lesson. Well, why do you absorb the evil lesson if you know it's evil, sis?
Right. Does not the scripture say, covet the best gifts?
It does. But it's a whack, trash ass talking point.
Right.
Well, you're showing me the evil lesson, so I'm going to throw that at you. If you know it's evil, then why are you taking it in? Doesn't that make you more evil than the lesson?
Yeah.
Read on.
Having his children in subjection with all gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house,
Right?
how shall he take care of the church of the Most High?
Because that's the ultimate job. I think that's the thing that sisters got to understand. His mind is to take care of the church, right? His mind is to take care of the people. And so his first training ground is going to be his household. How do they respond to this? When I set this in order, how is this going to look? How is this going to be? Right? And that's what, if you try to marry an Israelite man, that's what you have to understand is like the ultimate goal is the people, which is going to transition me into the next point. Next point, sacrifice. What you got? What you want to say?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
How would you respond
Sacrifice as a high calling. Go ahead.
to statements that have been made? And I've heard this all around the world. Hebrew Israelites, Hebrew Israelite men, Mienzes, are the worst, and so on and so forth.
The worst what though?
Like, if you were Israelite man, I ain't with that. Like, just the whole talking point around that straight, direct concept that a lot of females that I've heard say, like, oh, I could say all these things about an Israelite man. Oh, you supposed to be Israelite man, Israelite man.
Well, I'll say that.
But also based off the class, like.
Well, I'll say that a lot of Israelite men give the nation a bad name. A lot of Israelite sisters give the nation a bad name. I've seen a lot of bad things, and unfortunately, I've seen a lot of bad things on YouTube and just different social media outlets of Israelites, not even in a teaching capacity, but just in general, just doing some wacky stuff that it's like, why are you doing that? And then when it does come to teaching the deal on the streets, even some of that is questionable from certain camp or no camp, right? So I can see some people have like a bad taste in their mouth from what they see, and then some women have actually experienced, unlearned, untrained, undisciplined, right, unmotivated men that walk around with fringes, using the fringes and the beard as like a wand, as like a staff, iron fist, right, frantic in their house, lying in their house. Some women have went through that. Mongering, just men just running the streets, hitting everything they can. right? And then you have women, Israelite sisters, hair wraps, not beard, hair wraps and fringes,
Whoa.
soft shalams.
Hey,
Yeah, that's crazy, right? And they just as demonic. You got like one thing you got to remember: there are something called demons and fringes. Yeah, there are demons in fringes. Okay, not everybody that got fringes on is here for. I had to tell this to a sister the other day. Not everybody that's sitting inside this classroom is here for the same reasons. And just because they're sitting here doesn't mean that they're not here to disrupt your spiritual growth. Just like the churches in Revelations, Christ, he praised them, but then he also had to chastise them. Why? You got Jezebel, that spirit in the church. You got the Nicolaitans in the church. You got this spirit in the church. Right? Everybody's not around for the same reasons. So my thing would be, if you have a person that's criticizing, but they've never just like dealt with a person, an Israelite man or whatever outside of whatever capacity, then I mean, their judgment is gonna be their judgment, right? And like if their first encounter is a brother on the corner and he's calling everybody a bitch, I mean, he kind of just like solidified the outlook on himself, right? Because we don't talk like that to people, do we? Nah, we're not calling women whores that walk by with shorts on and do it. We ain't gonna call you a hoe, right? What if you just don't know that you shouldn't dress like that, but you're not actually really hoeing? You're not technically a hoe. Why would I call you that? And even if you are, why would I call you that? Why would I have to shame? Why do I gotta call you a hoe? Well, the Most High called the nation whores. Okay. He sent prophets to speak to other great men that distilled the information, right? But you didn't see no man just, you a hoe to no sisters. But I'm saying it like that, why? Because, and just to your question, you know, many men have, especially men in high stature in the community, they painted a narrative of all brothers. And then it's different when you meet us.
Yeah.
It'd be different when you meet us in person. Right? I remember when I was in the mall one time, and this is back, in Colony, and I came up to Colony for something one day. This was like maybe 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. And I'm there and I'm chilling and the brothers is working, and this Edomite guy walks up and he was asking for something. And we get to rapping, and we get to talking. He likes YSL. That's his phrase. But anything you got YSL. So we chopping it. He from New York, right? He's from New York. We chopping it up. And I have my shirt that said Yahweh. Red fringes on. I'm chilling. And he's like, man, you would. And I don't think at that time brothers was wearing fringes on their shirts. But I had mine on. I was off that day, right? Fake off day, right? And he was like, man, you an Israelite? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I know you be. I know. I say, yeah. Why? What's up? You know about us? He was like, yeah. He's like, man, I'm just surprised you ain't yelling at me and calling me the devil. And I was like, hey, first of all, we here doing business. That's one. But I don't even need to talk to you like that, right? I don't even need to deal with you like that. We're not a monolith. We're not all the same, right? And so a lot of people that encounter us, especially brothers that have been around for a long time, when you're around for 20 damn years plus, all that fire to go back and forth and yell and go crazy on people, that was out of me. I came in 2000 with that fire. Just everybody got the damn business, right? I'm 45 years old. How old are we?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old. Right? I ain't got time for that.
In November.
In November, I'll be right? Yeah. I ain't got time for that. I don't have the energy for that. I got to put the energy into the people, not yell at white people and call them devils. They know what they are. All you got to do is watch all these Senate hearings. They prove to you what they are. They prove their devil-ass tactics where they can't even answer questions. So that don't gotta be my ministry. Right? We need advocates on our side showing our people how to get things together the proper way without calling them whores and crackheads and this and that and the third. I don't need to sit there and yell at white people and call them devils. They are. But I don't have to be the microphone for that. I did that already. That 20-something years, 25 years ago. Yeah. Damn, bro. Street speaking 25 years ago. You know what that was like? Bruh, yeah. We used to do that 25 years ago. I don't gotta do that now. I gotta talk to our people and bounce ideas off of our people. Because white people got their thing. They got their societies, they got their communities, right? They take our communities and rename them.
Ooh.
Yeah. They got their thing. So I don't need to really go at them. They know what they got. They know what they got going on. Our people is the one that don't know. So for that type of person that's like, well, they're, you know, damn, getting a cramp, slot. Oh, shit. Them people that are on that, my bad, I'm getting a cramp. I was outside. You know, I would say sit around with a brother and just rap to him. See him with his family. That's why I always tell y'all see us online, it's formal. Y'all see this online, but you don't see us, if you don't come to class, if you have the ability, you don't see how we deal with our family, our children, right? You don't see how we deal with each other. You just see the online teach class, read. Brothers read loud. Somebody's commented last week, why is he yelling? So they probably think like, man, Israelites just always yell. It was Elijah he was talking about. Why is he yelling the scriptures? Because it says to read aloud, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. That's why.
He's not reading soft-spoken.
Yeah, we're not going to read soft-spoken. But if you met him in person, you'd be like, oh, he's a real soft-spoken kid. The one that's yelling and being super loud, he's only 14. Right? He's only 14 years old. That's the point. You would never know. 15?
Yeah, 15.
Oh, my bad, 15. Slocky. You know, but you would never know. So you sat around with him and you see that he's a real soft-spoken kid. He's real laid back, right? Kind of shy, good kid. You just yelling that Bible because you need to hear it, right? So let's get into this part. We got 20 minutes. I got a lot of myself to say that. Sacrifice as a high calling. That's the next point I want to talk about. Is sacrifice. Now remember, we left off in Timothy's about taking care of the church of God. And so as a woman coming into a relationship with an Israelite man, the first thing that you have to understand is that his priorities are going to be for the people. His priorities are for the people. His priorities are for the church. Now watch this. Watch this.
That's the scripture I was giving you guys before class started. See, here's the prequel.
Watch this. Watch this. If you feel like, this is a question I got for sisters. Do you ever feel like you're being prioritized above the church? Sisters? Like, I'm on the back burner. Or maybe I should ask in this way. Not to sisters, but to everyone. Why would you feel like you're not the priority if you're a part of the church? The only ones that feel like they're not a part of that they're not a priority or not part of the priority are the ones that are not a part of the church. So think about what I'm saying. If his mission is the church and you're a part of the church, you're part of the priority. Everything that he's doing, every sacrifice he's making, it's not just for them, because that's how some sisters be thinking, them and us.
Yeah.
That's crazy work. That's crazy, especially if you got a husband in a school, officer, captain, whatever, general, and it's us and them. It shouldn't be us and them, right? It shouldn't be us and them. That should never be a vocabulary where now you're disseminating between your household and the rest of the body when it all should be one body. Y'all get what I'm saying? Yeah. So this man that you're getting with, you're supposed to understand that his priority is to the body, the church of God, which is all Israelite people. So what does that look like? What does that mean? That he's going to sacrifice. Well, obviously he's going to give his time, right? Which is in turn going to be him giving his body. But also, he's going to sacrifice in the moments where you don't feel like he should sacrifice, meaning, well, this is a moment of pride. Well, he's like, nah, I'm not going to be prideful right now. Or this is a moment of, you know what, you should handle it this way because, nah, I'm not handling it that way. Because I got to be in charge of the church. Right? So let's get a scripture real quick. Go to Ephesians 5. Let's go here. You right? Yeah, go to. So think about it. If we're supposed to be mimicking Christ and he died for the church, well then, what is your husband supposed to be doing? Or the future man you're trying to get with? Wouldn't you want his convictions to be on the level of Christ? Sisters, don't you want your husband's convictions to be on the level of Christ where he died for what he believed?
Sister online.
Sisters, or else what's the freaking point? What type of nigga you want for real? You want some double-hearted man? You want some man that at any moment he could just be drug off the mission? Or is it, no, I want you to be dedicated, but I want you to be able to come off the mission when it suits me? Which one is it? I want you to be able to be drugged away from the mission when it makes me feel good. See, you're not going to have it both ways. Always remember something about this life. That the Most High is calculating and looking at everything that we do. And for every sacrificial thing that man does on a high level, the Most High opens up doors for him to be able to get some reprieve, some rest, the different things that you want. Well, baby, we need to go on a vacation. I ain't got vacation time right now. I don't got a punch clock. Like, I'm not accumulating vacation hours like a job.
I don't have PTO.
I don't got PTO for every week. I get an hour of PTO. That's not how this thing works. But you know what? For every high sacrifice, for every time you put yourself at a loss, the Most High is calculating and saying, you know what? I know what she wants, and I know what you want. And I'm gonna make sure y'all get it. You need a day or two to slip off? I'm gonna make sure y'all got it. I'm gonna make a way for y'all. But I need something first. And sisters gotta remember that. What type of man are you really looking for? You're looking for a cat that just, like the scriptures say, in the last days it'll be truce breakers. You want cats that they just break a truce? Yeah, you know, I died for it. I died for Christ. Nigga, you don't gotta die for Christ. The Bible says live. We ain't gotta die. Christ did that already.
Hilarious.
You just gotta live. Read it loud so they can say, why is he yelling?
What verse?
Ephesians 5:25.
Come. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25.
Come on.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
What did that love look like? That love looked like, damn, Christ ain't eating. Damn, he ain't got no sudden place to live. Damn, he ain't got this. Damn, he ain't got that. But the people had it.
Damn.
When you go back through that Mark 3, right, that I took y'all through the other day. Yeah, it's Mark 3, where it said that they was healing the multitude to the level that they weren't even sleeping or eating themselves. And when Mary heard about it, they were like, man, we got to go lay our hands on him and bring him back home because he's losing it. He's going crazy not eating out there. He's going crazy not sleeping out there. But he was sacrificing at a high level where it wasn't about, I'm gonna eat and drink when it's my time. I'm gonna get what I get when it's my time. That's the type of man that you're gonna get. A man that knows his time. Right? Because if he can't sacrifice at a high level, when you need him to sacrifice for you, he ain't gonna be able to do it.
Mhm.
And that's the point. Like, if he can't take care of his own house, he can't take care of the church. But if he can't take care of the church, he can't take care of his own house. Yeah, it's just a spin cycle.
Whoa,
And you can just reverse it.
crazy.
Yeah. So you got to understand what you're asking for. You want him to sacrifice or not? You want him to be dedicated or not? Or is it a selfish, I want him to be dedicated to me?
She wants him to be a hireling.
Damn.
So she wants him to be the punch card Israelite. She wants him to look powerful at times, do powerful things when it's convenient.
Look good in his garment.
Look good in his
So
garment.
she can say, that's my boo.
Right?
Take screenshots and be like, babe, and wink at him.
Mhm.
Yeah, all that weird stuff, right? That don't even matter.
Right. But when it actually comes down to the real stuff of the ministry,
Right.
oh no, you don't need to be doing that. You need
Yeah.
to be up under me. You need to be home where I'm at.
Ugh.
Why you gotta do it?
Up under me is crazy.
Why are you worried about them? Why are you worried about him? Why are you worried about her?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Why you always fixing their problems?
are they not part of the block?
Are they not part of the
Oh.
church?
The church.
I heard about that back around.
Right? See, I told you, y'all got the prequel to the class.
That's crazy.
That's why I didn't stop you when you were saying what you were saying, because I already knew where it was gonna go. But you gotta just really, I'm trying to get sisters to understand, I'm trying to get brothers to understand too, what this is about, right? This whole life is about sacrifice, and you're gonna get what you get if you sacrifice enough, right? And none of us deserve anything. That's the point.
Come.
Sis, you don't deserve no man to sit up under you. Who the hell are you?
Damn.
Right? And the only thing we deserve is what the Most High gives us.
Con.
Sometimes we need to show godliness with contentment. Yeah, sometimes we need to do the same things for the next 10 years to really show the Most High. I could sit in my situation. Not that we being lazy, not that we being neglectful, but sometimes you gotta sit in a situation and just absorb the situation. But the people around you, they also gotta be able to do what? Sacrifice, absorb, right? Be patient when you're brought to a low estate. See, a lot of y'all don't get that. A lot of sisters don't understand that. Well, why we gotta just do it like that? How come we can't just whoop-de-whoop-de-woo? How come you can't just go whoop, whoop, whoop? How come you just leave the ministry and get a job?
That's crazy.
Wait, hold on, but it said in Acts, are we supposed to wait tables and leave the word of the Lord?
Damn.
Damn. But see, because our situation gets a little bit rough, that's the prescription from some wives. Because you didn't understand what your man was about. You didn't understand that his sacrifice is what brought y'all's blessings. Sis, your sacrifice is what brings his blessings.
That's what Sister kind of said here.
Or excuse me, what brings the household blessings, the blessings for both of y'all. What'd they say? I'm not even looking.
She said, the thing is, once the wife understands the sacrifice, then the wife starts sacrificing as much as the husband does.
Damn.
The blessing will be beyond imaginable.
Yeah, you get everything you need. But see, nobody wants to sit in that little pocket of sacrifice.
That's crazy.
They don't want to sit in that sacrificial pocket like that. I gotta sit there for a moment. Yep. I can't. Oh, so I can't have time to go do this and go do that, and I can't live like this or live. Nope, not right now. Let's see how long you can sacrifice to get that good blessing, or you can force the blessing. You can force what you want. You can force situations, and then guess what? There's no peace because there's confusion. It wasn't the Most High's will, it was your own. So everything you force, it comes with some type of contingency or some stipulation behind it or some string attached that because you have bad decision making, you didn't see coming. He sees it coming though. He said, don't force it. Let's be in order. But we got to sacrifice for this moment. Nobody wants that pocket of sacrifice because it's a rough place to be. But sisters, you got to understand, if you're dealing with a proper Israelite man, it's his job to sacrifice. It's his whole job. It's the whole job. Look at every single man that was greatly spoken of in the Bible and show me where they didn't sacrifice. And I'll show you a not so great man. Moses. Moses. Did he not sacrifice? It says in Hebrews, he forsook being called the son of Pharaoh and esteemed the riches of Christ.
That's crazy.
More greater. David, did he not sacrifice? Abraham, did he not sacrifice? Isaac, Jacob, did they not sacrifice for the betterment of future things to come that they didn't even get a chance to really grasp? And we know the ultimate sacrifice, right? Yahweh Shai, who gave his life. He literally bled. Now the Bible says we have not suffered unto blood, striving against sin. So you ain't got to bleed for this sacrifice. That's the point. You don't got to bleed. You don't have to physically bleed and be strung up on a cross to show your sacrifice. Hold where you at. Go to Romans 12:1. Y'all should know what I want. Did you finish that? Ephesians? Finish the Ephesians 5. 25. Read it one more time. Somebody else get Romans 12:1. Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
Right?
And gave himself for it.
Right. Now think about it. This loved the church and gave, he loved the church and gave himself for it. That's two different things. So he showed his love in two different ways. By being there for the church and by rebuking the negative the church was on, by chastising those Pharisees and getting their asses in order, by being there for the people and giving them the things that he can give them, healing, food, whatever he can give them that was in his hands, he gave them. So he showed love by that, and then he showed love in the ultimate sacrifice.
Good question online.
What's it say? Is it on the topic? Please be on the topic. Could you explain something? What if I'm not with my girlfriend all the time because I'm working, studying, or just want space because she's annoying? Is that wrong? Yeah, it shouldn't annoy you. You shouldn't let anybody annoy you to the point of I can't be around you, because then how are you going to teach them? Right? If remember, we're supposed to be teachers, and annoyances, it says the Spirit of the Lord is not frustrated. So annoyance shouldn't be in our vocab. I'm annoyed, so I got to not be around you. I mean, if you're not around, then how can you fulfill 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3 about being the head? Right? How can you rule your house and have your house in order? Right? And then if this is a woman that you're laying down with, that ain't your girlfriend, that's your wife, buddy. So you gotta, I get it, you new and you're still trying to learn these concepts, right? But Israelite men don't have girlfriends and little playthings. We deal with these women, we take them as wives, and you deal with your wife. So think about it. Watch this. Was Christ not annoyed with some of the people? Yeah, he was annoyed daily. He was annoyed daily, but did he not still show up, discourse, and be a good example? Yeah. You think it wasn't annoying getting a cat of nine tails across his back and carrying that cross? But it said for the joy he endured. So you got to adopt what Christ did in those times of annoyance and rely more on the Most High and prayer. Do a lot more reading and studying on how to deal with those type of spirits so that you can teach your girlfriend, right? Because I'm pretty sure you want to be able to sustain a good household where you got to be able to teach her. Like, we don't get to do that. And that's the thing with marriage, right? Well, I'm annoyed with her, so she gets to go to her house and I get to go to mine. Nah. Guess what we got to do as men? When you get with that man and he's annoyed with you, guess what he got to do? He got to sit inside that pocket with you and go through all the annoying-ish that y'all both do. You annoy him, he annoys you, and then you got to work it out. That's marriage. This ain't Edomite love, like where I'm mad at you and then you get to go run to the courthouse, irreconcilable differences, and we just can't get along. No, we got to sit and work things out with each other. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, the point is, You can't allow someone to annoy you that you're supposed to be teaching, right? You can't be annoyed by the student. You just gotta recognize that the student is the student, right? And then you go about it that way. Where you at? Read where you at.
Book of Romans, chapter 12, and verse 1.
Right.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren,
Uh-huh.
by the mercies of God,
Yep.
that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Say what?
A living sacrifice.
Yeah, and this is what we gotta understand, that this is what, again, sisters, you have to understand, brothers, you have to understand. This is not just a scripture to brothers. This is a scripture to the nation, to those that are strong, bear the infirmities of the weak. And so those that are able to sacrifice on a high level, whether it be mental, you know how much mental capacity I sacrifice? So that I don't get annoyed? Because it be some annoying situations. But mentally, I have to make sure that I have the bandwidth to be able to give. It be some annoying situations, man. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. But then what do I got to do? I got to come back to reality and say, nah, I'm here to deal with this. I have to deal with it. Right? That's the job. My rib has to understand that that's the job. And that if I got to go through it, guess what? She got to back it up. She got to back me up. But what about my time? Well, no, it ain't about them. It ain't about you. It's about them. But at the same time, it's still about you because you're part of the church. So I can't just let her dangle at the wayside, right? There has to still be an accountability in your marriage. There has to be an accountability with your children, right? And it's hard to balance, but the understanding is there's more people in the body than there is in your household, right? So think about it. My rib is one person. I'm just using my rib as an example. I'm not saying that this is what's going on, but it's me and my rib, right? It's me and her, but then it's me and him and the whole congregation. So imagine if 3 brothers had an issue in the same day. Get a phone call from a brother early in the morning, man, me and my rib got into it last night. All right, what's going on? Da-da-da-da. That's gonna eat up from 10 to about 3. This is on a Sunday.
Hilarious.
Then while you on the phone with that brother, a brother's texting you, oh, we need to rap. I need some counsel. Da-da-da. Damn. All right, as soon as you hop off, you don't even get a Gatorade break. You just get off, and then next phone call, right? That eat up from 3, whatever, burrito about 7, 8 o'clock. Your ribs looking at you like, man, we had plans. And you like, you see what I'm doing. Not because I wanted to just neglect our plans. Not because I just wanted to put you on the back burner. But the situation is to test you and me to see, am I gonna neglect the flock for my own wants and needs? Or am I gonna try to do 2 things? Handle business, or are you gonna try to understand the job that I'm in and the pressure that I'm under, and then we work our plans around what's going on? Because 2 things can happen. I could be busy as hell and still hang out with my rib. Just not in the time that she thought. Not in the time when she wanted. 2 things can happen. I can still take care of the body and take care of my family, right? But see, what starts to happen is when you forget what he's supposed to be doing, and then you get frustrated, right? Now watch this. Can we be honest? Can I just get an honest? From sisters? We got 4 sisters in here, and sisters online. Have you been frustrated because of his duties when they conflict with when you had plans and things to do? Man, he's not showing me enough time. I'm not getting enough time. He's always with the brothers. Be honest. By a show of hands. Just be honest. Just be honest. If not, cool. Online, just throw a hand in the chat. You ever been frustrated because you felt like he was putting you on the back burner because you got things to do. And it's not like I'm gonna go shoot the shit with the brothers. I'm not talking about that. It's like, hey, babe, I'm on this council. See, when my rib is if me and my rib are in two different rooms and she walks into the room and starts talking to me and I do this, she automatically be like, oh, my bad. She knows. Because usually I'll be like, mute, and then, hey, yeah. Da-da. But when I do this, she's like, oh, damn. So, my bad, I get out the room. So, let's see, did anybody say anything? Or y'all all gonna cap? Because y'all all been frustrated at some point. Dang, he's always on the phone. He's always dealing with their problems. He's always sacrificing. Okay, watch this. Let me ask it like this. Do you feel like sometimes, have you ever felt like sometimes the sacrifice is one-sided? Sisters? Where it's more for the body than for the actual household? Nobody here is putting their hands up. Okay. I want to hear down the line, like, nobody online? Okay. Your husband ain't busy enough then.
Why you worried about them?
Your husband ain't busy enough then. Gotta get y'all brothers busy.
That's hilarious.
That should be the complaint.
That's
He's
hilarious.
always busy doing the work. Brothers ain't busy enough. Okay, I get it. I'm joking. But the point is, the point is that that's what you signed up for with this type of man. Because it's not enough for him to just be like, I'm an Israelite, and then that's it. He gotta move in that, office. He has to make moves in that vocation. So everything about an Israelite man is, she said, what is this question for single? Yeah, well, it's more for, to the sister, it was more for sisters that are married because their husbands are going to be taking away that time from them. Now, a single sister could answer this question if maybe her father or brother is in the truth and she feels like, well, he's always doing this with them and then he's not at the house doing this with the family, right? So a single sister can answer it too, yeah. I was just talking more in the capacity of marriage, where a lot of the issues tend to happen where it's like he's always doing this with y'all, where he ain't doing nothing at the casa. But it's like, ooh. And we don't want that situation, because we gotta hold true to the scriptures, right? If a man can't rule his own house, how can he? So our main thing is, man, you gotta take care of the house. You gotta be at home with the rib and the kids and help out where you can and those different things. But it also can't be an overbalance of that's all you do. Everything, oh, I'm at the house. Oh, I'm at my rib. Oh, well, she got me on this, and she got me on that. Like, whoa, what we doing here?
Gotta ask permission.
Yeah. Hey, babe, can I?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Or it's not even ask permission. It's am I gonna face an attitude if I don't ask for permission?
Yeah.
Is there gonna be an attitude for leaving the house? Is there gonna be an attitude for doing anything that requires the position and the ministry?
Yeah, and see, you know, a person that gets frustrated with someone else's sacrifice
Damn.
is because they're not sacrificing themselves. They're not on the level of, they don't understand the sacrifice. They don't understand what that person is putting themselves through. I gotta honestly say, at least I think my rib understands my day to day. Like, and it's not the same every day, but she understands when she sees that, when they be turned up for real, and it's like issue after issue, call after call, this after that. But then guess what? She got to deal with it too. Sisters will hit her up, Shalom sis, and I'm like, yep, deal with that. You got it. You about to get some of this fire. You about to see what it is. When you got to take these phone calls and get on the phone with this sister and do this and do that. Get on the phone with these other sisters and what? The kids, Mom, I'm starving. And it's like, y'all gotta wait. Give me 1 second when I get off the phone. Or multitask. But the point is, for a young sister like the sister that asked the question, was that Ariel? You should understand that whatever man I'm looking to be with, especially if he is a part of a body, that his first name is sacrifice. His first name, his last name, his second name, he got 4 Hebrew names. They all sacrifice. Right? Because that's what we live off of. We live off of sacrifice. That's how we get the blessings. That's it. Or we could just make our own blessing. And if we're sacrificing on the same level, I think Abadiah said it. I was taught that if he was busy with the body, I too was to be busy with the household and sisters. Yeah, that's the thing. But if there's not the same level of sacrifice, then someone's going to be pissed off because they're not getting enough FaceTime with their significant other. How do we stop that? Well, let's get on the same level of sacrifice. I'm over here handling these bros. You're supposed to be handling these sisters. Dealing with them, building with them. And then when we come together, see, you know, the one thing about having maturity in a relationship is that it should be, if I'm handling my business on my side and you handle your business on your side, when we come together and we mesh both sides, we've already ironed out so much stuff for everybody else, it should be easy to iron our stuff out. It should be like that. But is the understanding there to allow things like that to happen? That's the question. It's like, there'll be many times putting the class together, I'm like, damn, I ain't got my class. And the spirit is like, no, you're gonna take 15 phone calls today. This used to happen to me back in the day. And I'm like, dude, I ain't got no class. But you know what's funny about those 15 phone calls?
That's the class.
Yeah, they would all be calling and giving me the class right there. And I'm like, damn. And I just have to think about the phone. I'm like, oh, snap. That must be the spirit, because what they dealing with is what the class was about to be about. You know what? Got my same scriptures I gave them in the council. Whoop, right on the class. That's why y'all do the, hey, were you talking about me in that class? No, but yeah. No, brother, but yeah, I was talking about you, right? But again, if we're moving in the spirit of sacrifice, and if we're understanding each other's sacrifice, then again, we bring the thing together for the household, it should be a lot easier to order the household because of what we've already dealt with outside. But it's crazy when we let the chaos from outside come in. You dealing with chaos as a wife, I'm dealing with chaos as a husband, and then we come together and we're chaotic. What the fuck? Because you're mad because I was busy, and then you're mad because you were busy. So you're mad because both of us were busy, and then it's like, well, we ain't got time for it. Hey, it's a crazy life.
Damn.
It's a crazy life, this life. Right? Yeah, what did it say? Realize that now, what? Common facts, being in the same page and understanding that we both have a position to play. Yeah. Realizing that now and completely understanding class, I would have definitely handled things differently and sacrificed so much more back then. Yeah, and it ain't too late, because now we understand and we get this understanding. We can do things better now. Today is for the future, you know. And that's the point, is just understanding how are we supposed to be looking at these things that are like baked into this life. Like, we can't get away from the things that I'm talking about if you're actually reading the scriptures. You can't get away from these concepts. This is what our lives are built on. It's different than the world where they can just go out and be, man, there's a cat that I be listening to. Dang, what's his name? Let's see if y'all know this person. Let's see. The Edomite. And people call in, they used to call into his show. Dave Ramsey. They would call into his show talking about like how much debt they in. They got $1.2 million in debt. They 29 years old.
Dang.
And he's like, he's like, oh my God. And you know what he would automatically go into? It is a white man. He wouldn't take it like, oh, you know, get a better job. He would go into their spirit. he would start hitting them in this, like, you're greedy, you're this, you're that. He was going in. And then he's like, I hope I'm not being too harsh, but I gotta give it to you for real. It's like, the Bible says godliness with contentment is great gain. He was going in. It's like, how are you 29 years old with 1 point something million in debt? How you got $600,000 in credit card debt?
Yeah.
Bruh. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
How you got $80,000 in credit card debt? How you got this amount of car note? How you got a $1,100 car note? And he's going in. Greed. Covetousness. That's what he's talking to them about first. Then he's like, this is the plan. This is what you're going to do. Then he gives them the physical plan. But he chastised them spiritually. Why? Because that's what it is. Right?
That's dope.
Yeah, I was found him today. Where we at?
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1.
Read.
Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God.
So, but how does that happen? Wife? Well, like how Christ gave himself, and then he presented the church without spot and wrinkle. Right? There's work to be done. There's things to be weeded out. There's disorder to order. There's chaos to remove. There's all these. There's wisdom to impart. Go ahead.
Which is your reasonable.
So you can't just give yourself. That's the point here. You don't just give yourself. It says holy and acceptable. See, you can't be the broken-legged lamb. Talking about, here I am. Or the crooked-nosed lamb or whatever. You couldn't be with spot. See, we think we can just come and just be like, whatever. I'm sacrificing. I'm here. Wait, hold on. You had to actually be doing something while you were here. So when he's sitting there with the books cracked open, don't ridicule him because of his sacrifice. He's trying to make himself acceptable. When he tells you to crack the book open, don't ridicule him because I got something else better to do. You're supposed to be becoming acceptable and holy, set apart. Hey, you know, you're gonna pull up to that sisters meeting and you're gonna well, what I gotta do? I got something else better to do. Nope, you don't. Iron sharpeneth iron. So you're gonna be with them sisters because you got some things to learn, or they may have things to learn from you. Like, we gotta understand, as men and women, you gotta understand what you have to offer. And if you're a person that people look towards, then you gotta be there for those people. That's the bottom line. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You gotta be there for the ones that's looking towards you. And be that sacrifice for them. Right? Go from there. Go from there, go to, let me throw this in there, 1 Corinthians 7:29. And I got one more and we can have on time. But we started at what time? A little bit later. 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 29. But this I say,
Right?
brethren, the time is short.
How much time we got?
The time is short.
Don't be like them scoffers like, well, y'all been saying the time is short. It was supposed to end in 2000. Don't be those scoffers that, oh, ain't nothing changed since the fathers went to sleep and blah, 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 blah. No, the time is short, meaning you don't know when it's going to be over. You don't know when it's going to end. Go ahead.
It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
What does that mean? What does that mean? How do y'all receive that Bible verse? Those with wives be as though they have none. Watch this. I'll switch it. Those with husbands be as though you have none. Because the time is short. Now what? What does it mean? What does it mean? What do y'all get from me? I don't want no blank stares. Come on. Somebody say something. The time is short. Those with wives be as though they have none. What does that mean? If you read up in the chapter, it says, if you have a wife, seek not to be loose to a wife. If you don't have a wife, seek not to have a wife. It's going into all these different concepts, but what is he saying? Abadiah's got it on point. Don't look at the comments, cheaters. If you don't know what the Bible is saying, then this is the problem. What?
So it's saying that basically, it's telling the brothers that have wives to be as though they had none, meaning like don't be so focused in your house, but put your focus high in helping out the body.
Okay. I like the answer, but there's the wording I don't like. Because then we would be giving unlearned brothers the license to be neglectful. So I gotta be about the Most High. Well, what does that mean? What does that look like? You're right. It means to be about the Most High, right? That's what it means. But do I become neglectful in my household, being about the Most High? Because how can both of those two things exist? I'm about the Lord, but I'm neglecting my house. How do those two things exist? Do they?
You prioritize.
Huh?
You prioritize.
balance.
You gotta.
There has to be balance and priorities, yes. But remember, if my household, if I'm a godly man, and because this is the point that I'm trying to convey, this is what I want sisters to understand. Yeah, balance. This is what I want everyone to understand when it comes to this concept. That I'm not putting you to the side for a moment to purposely neglect the house. But there are priorities that take place, right? And I might have to compartmentalize like, watch this. If I'm beefing with my rib, but you call me because you're beefing with my rib, does my beef take precedence over your beef?
Nah.
No. No, it doesn't. My beef with my rib don't mean shit until I take care of everybody else's beef. I'll beef with her for years if I gotta keep taking y'all's beefs on. That's the point. That's the point. I will, hey, look, we gotta deal with that one. I'm busy over here. Now, obviously, not years. Things gotta come to a head where I'm like, I gotta carve out a space to be able to deal with my house. So what is it about? It's about carving out those moments and carving out space, right? It's about taking that oversight and saying, damn, you know what? I know I gotta deal with her on some things, but this keep popping up, this keep popping up. All these situations keep popping up. But I can't keep letting my house situation go on for a time. Hey, but then what does she see me doing? Dealing with this, dealing with that, dealing with that, Now, if she's mature, a mature woman is gonna say, well, you know what? I see what he's doing. So I'm not gonna hold him for that. I'm not gonna hold him for what he's doing because he's trying to help other people. Yeah, he's not helping our situation right away, but he's gonna get to it. A mature woman is going to be able to look at that and say, you know what? Because that's what you signed up for. At the end of the day, that's what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to be the first thing. How could you be? How could you be the first thing in a godly man's life? How? How could you be the thing in a godly man, in an Israelite man's life? How could you be? Wouldn't the first thing in his life be the thing that gave you him? Or gave him you? Wouldn't I put all that on the Most High that gave you to me? Why would you be the first thing? Why would you be the first priority anyway? See, it don't even make sense the way y'all thinking. The woman can't be the first priority in a man's life. That's damn horseshit. It's crazy. No, you can't be. My household can't be the first priority in my life. My first priority is to the Most High. That's my first priority, to serve and to make sure that He's pleased.
And then how do we serve the Most High?
And then that we're both serving the Most High, and that He's pleased with us. And then whatever we're dealing with, guess what? That thing get ironed smooth as a witch, ironed out quick. But the more we're not lockstep with the Most High and we're more focused on us and our time and our this and our kick it and our vacay and our the more chaos and confusion.
No, I was saying, how do we serve the Most High? Serve the Most High is to serve the people.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing, is to serve the people, but then remember, she's the people too.
Right.
We're the people, so it's never I don't want sisters to look at it ever that when your husband is sacrificing, you look at it as see, you're always doing that for them, but then when it comes to us, don't look at it like from that angle. Because then now you're doing this separation of, it's like separation of church and state. No, the whole body is church. You're just a part of the church. But you should be a part of the church that's more understanding than the other parts. Why? Because you live with that man. You know what he's doing. It's one thing if a nigga is just sitting around really playing video games all day. And then he get one counsel a week. And then when you come to him like, hey, we need to talk, he's like, oh no, I'm busy. And then he just all of a sudden tries to make himself busy. I'm putting together this class. It's one thing if he does that, I can see like, okay. But when it's like call after call, when it's class, when it's this, we got to take care of this, we got to make sure this is on point, we got to look out for this brother, this sister. And it's all these moving components, right? And then you come and it's never a good time. But don't we got to make time as men for our families? Right? Brothers? Y'all sinking here.
That's funny.
Brothers, don't we got to make time for it? The sinking ship. Don't we got to make time for our families, brothers?
God.
Oh, the ship is afloat. Okay. Right, you can't. God, I would hope so. Yeah. He not tell us to neglect our duties on earth with each other, but to keep the Lord first in our life. Yeah, and that's the point. That's the point. You can't be a godly man and neglect the brothers and sisters around you. Just like Christ was not telling nobody when he said, who are my brethren, that he was discarding Mary and his brothers. That's crazy. Because then he would be saying, I'm disregarding Israelites for Israelites.
That's funny.
Doesn't make sense. It's not even a good lesson to teach. It's not what was happening. Right? And so we can't move in that, well, you know what? Their situation is better than yours. I'll never deal with you. No, it's the job and the duty is to look at me, right? And so they do take a little bit more precedence, but doesn't mean that I'm not gonna deal with you. And I'm talking from the standpoint of like a leader, a brother I'm talking from my own standpoint, because those are things I got to deal with. I got to be able to deal with y'all and then still deal with my house. My rib got issues that she want to talk to me about. She got things that she wants to rap about. So I can't always be like, hey, you know what? I'm busy. Sometimes it's like I'll be in the middle of putting together, you know what? What's up? Whole class being on pause. Whole class be on pause. Put together my class. I need to talk. All right, what's up? Boom.
Getting ready to put in that one scripture that was so fire in your mind.
Well, because but you know what I've come to learn over the years, that again, what is like, there's always a priority, right? Now, is class a priority? Yeah, it's a high priority. But this is not 10 years ago where I had to sit there and like really go through my brain to put together a class. I could put together a class in 10 minutes, believe it or not. I could put together a class with 15 scriptures in 10 minutes. Try me. He see me do it. Hey, I got this Word document, it'd be blank, and the next thing you know, it's like, boom, scripture. He like, God damn. Yeah, because my brain can focus in if I needed to. So to take time away from putting together a class to deal with a person, that's more important. To deal with an issue, that's more important, right? I'll never be like, oh, I'm putting together this class, I ain't got time to talk. I haven't done that in years.
You locked away in the closet?
Yeah, nah. Nah, if we moving around and we got something to do, I'd be like, hey, can you drive though? So I can put my class together. Last couple of Wednesdays, we've been moving around, and and I'm like, hey, you gotta drive. He's like, all right, cool. And so while we're driving, we're talking, I'm putting together classes, but I'm still able to do both, because there has to be priority. You do have to have conversations. And I'm talking from a leadership standpoint, right? Now there's other standpoints in this topic where this man may not be in a leadership position, but he's studying to become. right? But you still got to be able to break away from your studies and see what you know. See if them studies is holding, right? It can't be, oh, I'm busy, I'm studying, I'm locked away in the dungeon.
You gotta apply sometimes.
You got to be able to apply. And sometimes your best study is live studies when you're dealing with the people, right? So I just wanted to be understood from that, just to the sisters that, hey, the sacrifice is not for nothing. That's the point. It's not for nothing. All the time that he's given, and it's like, well, he's giving it to everyone else, but it's not for nothing, because the Most High is looking at that and he's carving out his time for y'all when he's good, damn, and ready. And so the point is to be patient. The point is to don't be impatient with this thing, and stay on your game, stay on your sacrifice. You start to sacrifice also. And then guess what? You won't be as frustrated. You won't be as, man, I ain't got enough time with him. When his first dedication was not to you. You were given to him from the Most High. So wouldn't he have to stay loyal to the Most High? You're supposed to be his blessing from the Most High. Right? Unless you ain't. But he only got you because he was dedicated to something. So he can't change his dedication and his sacrifice now because he got you. Because then all you're going to do is turn to a curse. Arguing and fighting. Right? Go to, I think I have one more scripture. Yeah. Go to, go to Ecclesiastes 35:7. And obviously, I got 2 more points on this class. I'm going to part trace this. Ecclesiastes 35 and verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 35 and verse 7.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The sacrifice of a just man.
Now, when you go through this whole little block of scriptures, it's talking about actual sacrifice, like lambs and money and alms and all this. But I just want to pinpoint this scripture here, because it's not just talking about, obviously, our time of sacrificing is not bringing animals, it's bringing ourselves. Right? It's giving our time, it's giving our resources, it's doing these things for one another. Go ahead.
The sacrifice of a just man is acceptable.
Now, it's being accepted, but okay, the Most High just takes the sacrifice and that's it. Well, no. He takes the sacrifice, you give it, he takes it, but then he rewards it. Point. Don't look at any sacrifice that any one of y'all are doing as a waste. Right? I never look at, like, because sometimes you're like, man, it's a waste of time. I'm just doing this, I'm just doing that. Well, no, none of it is a waste if you're a just man. If you're a godly man, if you're a godly, nothing you give to the body, nothing you do in the name of the Most High is a waste. How could it be? How could anything? It says the Most High is not unjust to remember to forget your labor and the things you do towards his name. It's only a waste if you're sacrificing and it's not for the name of the Most High. It's only a waste if you're sacrificing and giving your time and doing all these things, if it's not a labor of love, if you don't love to do it. If you're grudged, if you're grieved with giving your time, right? Like, listen, it's hard as hell to sit up on this podium. Shit. It's hard. It's hard financially. It's hard spiritually. It's hard mentally to sit on this podium. Because that means that when I want to go in the streets and wild out and make ass mistakes, every piece of ass that I see out there and do all that, guess what I got to do? I got to sacrifice. I got to sacrifice them thoughts. I got to sacrifice them feelings. I got to sacrifice the flesh and say, nah, can't chase that. Nah, you can't be over there. Nah, you can't go there. Nah, you don't need to go do that. Nah. I tell myself no more than I tell anybody no. Yeah. Nope. No, I hear no so many times from my own self.
I told myself no so many times. Hey, Qatazap, tell me no.
Nope. Yeah. It's like, nope. I be hearing so many no's. Why? Because I understand that if I start telling myself yes in certain things, it'd be all bad. I'm no longer a good example. Yeah, you can do that. Never a good example. Then the sacrifice becomes for naught. But I know what I'm doing this for. That's the thing. I know what I'm doing this for. That's why I can continually tell myself no and be good up here, as hard as it is, right? As hard as it is sometimes. Again, to sacrifice financially, spiritually, it's a physical sacrifice. It's a mental sacrifice to have to deal with so many different situations on a day-to-day basis, and you wake up and your first thoughts is not about you, but it's about everything else around you. That could be a burden mentally. When you might be going through health issues or this issue, but you can't think about your health issues. You gotta think about everybody else's damn health and how you can get everybody else on point. And then it's like, well, you're not doing what you said. Well, how the hell can I when I'm so worried about you? How can I do what I'm saying when I'm more worried about your health than my own? See? And then it becomes this, well, you don't do what you said. That could be a mental beat down. It's hard, but I understand the sacrifice. We understand the sacrifice. Khan? Finish that.
And the memorial thereof shall never.
And the what?
The memorial.
The what?
The memorial.
The Most High is not forgetful, right? The Most High, what is the scripture? What does it say? It says the Most High is not unjust to forget your labor and love.
Right.
It says the memorial. Whose memory is that sacrifice in? So sisters, just remember something. And I'm talking about sisters, married, unmarried, sisters that want to get married, sisters. Before you marry him, understand something. And if you're already married to him, understand something. His sacrifices are not going unforgotten. Because he's doing it for the right reasons. So you may not get what you feel like the time and the vacations, and because he's sacrificing, but the Most High is not forgetting that. And I'm gonna keep saying it. He's carving out y'all's time to be able to hang out over here and, you know, do this little vacation thing over there. And like, vacation ain't a damn bad word, but it's like we worthy of it. Some of us ain't sacrificed nothing, and we talking about vacations. And I'm scared to go anywhere.
Funny.
Go ahead.
And the memorial thereof shall never be forgotten.
Yeah, just remember, the Most High is watching it all. And all these different things that I'm bringing out, remember, the Most High is looking at how we move in these different situations. How do you move in the times of sacrifice, in the times of using wisdom and decision making? Doesn't matter. The Most High is sitting back watching. So you can be mad, you can be upset, you can be happy, you can be joy. It don't matter how you feel. It's what the Most High can see. He's judging everything. He can see something. So it don't matter how you feel about it. Khan?
Khan.
All right. We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that for this segment. And then next week, we're gonna talk about, we'll talk about brotherhood and unity and accountability. So you're gonna marry that Israelite man? Understand, his life is about brotherhood and unity and accountability. So those are gonna be the next two things we talk about, right?
Right.
And maybe the week after, we'll do, hey brother, looking to get married? Watch this first. Yeah, it's important because everyone got to know what they're getting into. You know, they dialed up here, but we'll see what happens. Might want to drop something, so, you know. But yeah, hopefully everybody got something good from that class. Man, make sure y'all set up some prayers for us. We're supposed to get hit with like a little, they say a tropical storm, tropical depression, but you know how it could be. It's Houston. It's warm waters. And, you know, you just never know out here. I've learned that. They say it's one thing and it turned out to be something else. So just make sure y'all pray for us. We're supposed to get a little touchdown tomorrow. Other than that, you know, we praying for y'all out there. So, you know, hopefully y'all keeping us in y'all's prayers. We keeping y'all in ours. But with that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.